It's emerged that around 100 people have been kidnapped in the Bondo region. Around 50 gunmen from the rebel Lord's Resistance Army carried out that raid this past weekend. Now, those captured were reportedly forced to carry the loot, and the kidnapped include children who were in the area to take their final examinations. Traders are also known to be among those taken, as well as nurses who have been carrying out vaccinations. The army has pursued the gunmen into the Adama forest, believed to be their hiding place. Now, of course, Uganda recently announced that it would be pulling its troops out of the Central African Republic. They were there to fight the LRA, but the army says the rebel group has been defeated. Now, of course, these latest kidnappings in the DRC are a rather disturbing development. But just who are the LRA? CCTV's Maria Galang tells us more.
The Lord's Resistance Army is run by a man called Joseph Kony. He's been terrorizing the Great Lakes region for years now. Initially, the LRA was formed to battle the Ugandan government, but the rebels have since expanded their operations to include the DRC, South Sudan and the Central African Republic. American forces have been assisting local armies in the hunt, but the dense terrain means the group can stay undetected. The LRA has killed thousands of people in raids over the years. They've butchered their way across the region, raping, pillaging, burning, kidnapping boy children as soldiers and girls as servants and sex slaves. But the group is much diminished. The region's soldiers have recorded great gains against the LRA. One of its top commanders was last year captured in the CAR. Dominic Ongwen faces trial at the ICC. From a rebel army of thousands, Uganda says the LRA has been reduced to just a handful of fighters. But it's also clear from these kidnappings in the DRC that a handful can do a whole lot of damage, and that the LRA perhaps remain a bigger threat to the region than initially estimated. Maria Galang, CCTV.
Now, of course, as we've mentioned, Uganda had earlier said that the LRA no longer posed a significant threat. Let's get to you now some more reaction from the country. We're joined live from Kampala by CCTV's Michael Baleke. Michael, has there been any response as yet from Ugandan authorities on the weekend's kidnapping in the DRC?
Hello, Lindy. The Uganda People's Defense Force spokesperson has told us that they are yet to confirm the reports of the attacks in DR Congo and actually the identities of the attackers. You know, Lindy, Eastern Congo is an area known to have different militia that have for long attacked civilians, raped women, abducted children, and have displaced thousands of people, some of whom now live in Uganda as refugees. So the military spokesperson says they are not sure if these attackers are Uganda rebel groups like the LRA or ADF or Congolese militia groups responsible for acts of violence in this region.
Well, of course, Michael, as you say, many different militia operating in that area. Many, however, suggesting in the most recent reports that it is indeed the LRA. If that is indeed the case, how likely is it then that Kampala will rethink its withdrawal from the Central African Republic over this incident in the DRC?
Well, Lindy, a few days ago, I think last Thursday, while speaking to the defense minister, the Uganda defense minister, he told us that Uganda is preparing to exit from the Central African Republic, probably in the next 10 months. The Uganda military, of course, has been under the mandate of the UN, has been pursuing the LRA and its leader Joseph Kony in the jungles of the Central African Republic for about a decade now. But Kampala authorities believe Joseph Kony and his people have been weakened tremendously and have no capacity to regroup and organize a substantial attack. The defense minister told us that the LRA have broken up in real small groups, poaching animals for their survival. So they raid villages and abduct a few people who they use as porters to carry their loot, which of course is mostly ivory. So Uganda believes other UN forces present in that country can actually handle the remnant groups.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much. Michael Baleka speaking to us live from Kampala.